Well, here we go. It's time. A couple of days from now, Wrestlemania time. Oh, sorry, just adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. Again, still using the old computer because, once again, still haven't been able to get a camera. I have found one, but it does an old one that my brother used, but it doesn't work properly. But anyway, we don't need to talk about technical difficulties on my end. We need to talk about WrestleMania season. And yes, I said WrestleMania season because, well, I don't just want, this video is going to be about predictions for WrestleMania, but I'm also going to throw in a small little bit at the beginning about the other show I'm going to be watching this weekend, NXT Takeover New Orleans, which looks to be the much better show in my eyes. So anyway, let's just quickly get through that one with the 5 matches that are on that card. We have the technically it's also the finale of the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic, but it's also a triple threat match for the NXT Tag Team title between the champions, the Undisputed Era, this time composed of Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole because Bobby Fish is injured. The Authors of Pain, the Undisputed Era versus the Authors of Pain versus Roderick Strong and the WWE UK champion Pete Dunne. This match has a lot of potential. All 6 wrestlers in this match are good. As for who I think is going to win, I'm going with the Undisputed Era. There's a very specific reason why. And there's, well, 2 reasons why, but one specific one. The first one is I wouldn't put the titles back on the Authors of Pain. I think they're pretty much done in NXT, so they should just move up to the main roster at this point. And I don't think they're actually going to pull the trigger on Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong in this case. So yeah, I think this is it's just going to be Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are going to retain. But there's another very specific reason, and that is the next match I'm going to be talking about, which is a 6-man ladder match for the inaugural NXT North American Championship, which will consist of which will have 6 participants. It's Lars Sullivan, Killian Dane, Ricochet, EC3, Adam Cole, and Velveteen Dream. So yeah, and that's the reason. Adam Cole is pulling double duty. So I think he's going to win one of the matches and he's going to lose the other. And I think he's going, and I honestly don't think he's going to win the North American Championship. So yeah, I think he's going to retain the tag team titles, but he's going to lose this match. That's for who I think is going to win this match. Looking at the participant, I've already mentioned why I don't think Adam Cole is going to win. I think Lars Sullivan hasn't really built himself up enough to be a champion just yet. He needs a little bit more development. EC3 and Ricochet are brand new, so no, they're not ready for it in my eyes. Like, they need to build themselves up more in NXT before they can really get to the top in my eyes. And then you have Killian Dane. He doesn't have enough momentum behind him. He's great, but I don't think there's enough momentum to give him the title. In my eyes, the guy who's going to win it is the guy who's been one of the most entertaining people to watch, and he's really developed himself. Velveteen Dream. He is winning the title in my eyes. And I think it's well deserved, and we can build some good stories from there. Probably with him versus EC3, or him versus Ricochet, or something like that. Or him versus Killian Dane, or also all 6 members of this match. We could see some future one-on-one matches between them as soon as Velveteen is crowned the first ever North American champion. Could be really good. Next, we have the NXT Women's Championship match between, which is a rematch from, I think it was NXT Takeover Philadelphia, between Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler. When I predicted the first one, I didn't make a video for that, but I did some predictions on my own. I predicted that Ember was going to win because it was too early for Shayna to win the title. Some time has passed, and I actually think now she's ready. Now I think she's ready to be given an opportunity to run with the belt. I think this time she's going to win it. Hold on, I just need to fix something. This time I think she's going to win it. I won't be disappointed if Ember retains, but I feel like you've done enough with her as champion. I think at this point you give Shayna the title, and then you have the rematch at the next takeover, and then you move Ember up to the main roster. Because I don't think Ember's done in NXT, but I think she's done with the title, as in holding it. She can still have a rematch, but that's about it. I think she will have at least one more match in NXT. Maybe just one match with Kairi Sane before she leaves. But that's it. Next up, a match I have been looking forward to for a long time. Pretty much ever since I saw their match at the Cruiserweight Classic, I wanted to see this match in particular. It's Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in an unsanctioned match. Now, I guess I wasn't predicting that specific, but I was predicting Ciampa could turn heel and face Gargano one-on-one. And the match they had at the Cruiserweight Classic was just great. And at that point, they were just tag partners fighting for a chance to win the Cruiserweight Championship. In this match, we have Tommaso Ciampa, who's betrayed Gargano, beaten him to an inch of his life multiple times, and gotten him fired from NXT. There's a real blood, and Johnny has responded by attacking him on multiple occasions, even at his own home. It's a real blood feud, and I think this could be absolutely amazing. This could steal the show. The other match could also steal the show, but this one I am really looking forward to. As for victory, I know a lot of people are saying that it's going to be Ciampa who wins this. I actually disagree. I think Johnny's not done in NXT. I think he's going to win. It's going to be a brutal match, but he's going to win. And then he's going to at least either have one more match with Ciampa, and he's going to face off with the NXT champion one more time. Now, I know I said one more time, but essentially I said the NXT champion because, moving on to the last match, we have the NXT championship match between Andrade Cien Almas and Aleister Black. And my thoughts are that Aleister is going to win. Aleister Black is going to win the NXT championship. And I really, really hope they do. Hope they go through with that. I've wanted Aleister to win that title for a long time. Like I have been so damn impressed with everything he's done. He's been so damn good, and I just feel like he could be this unstoppable force in NXT. Kind of like what Finn was for a little while, where he held the belt for a long time. I think Aleister could hold it for a long time and have some really damn good matches against. Like I mentioned earlier, I think Johnny could get another match against Aleister, and that's when you move him up to the main roster, when he fails again to beat the NXT champion, in this case Aleister Black. And Aleister would also, and one match I was really looking forward to, I was actually hoping that this match wasn't Aleister versus Almas when I was looking ahead. I was thinking that Aleister could face Drew McIntyre, but now there's a chance that Drew could come back and face him when he's NXT champion. And I would also like to see, when Ciampa's building up again, that he gets another shot, because technically I guess Aleister is a babyface in a way, but he's kind of a babyface in the sense of The Undertaker, where he's not really being a goody babyface. He's just a presence, but he's not really a presence for evil. He kind of looks like a darker character, but he's not really doing anything malicious and evil. He's just there as a powerful presence who wants to be at the top. So yeah, I'm definitely seeing a good run for him as NXT champion. I'm really looking forward to this one, because both men are great wrestlers. Because I know I'm talking down Almost a little bit, but he is great. He is a great wrestler. He put on great matches. Hell, at the last one, he was putting on what many people consider one of the best matches they've ever done. I still think Aleister's match with Adam Cole from that show was better than that match, but it was still damn good. Then again, that's more personal preference, because I love Carnage matches. Again, that also brings up why Johnny versus Tommaso could be absolutely amazing, because that's an unsanctioned match, so anything goes. So yeah, this could be amazing. This show looks... There's a single match on this card where I don't think it's going to be a good match. I know I didn't talk about it, but the ladder match is probably going to be pretty damn good. And the women's title match, I actually really liked their match from Philadelphia, and because of the storytelling. And I'm hoping that the development that they've done in the meantime could prove to put on a great match between the two. Again, these matches could be great. All of them could be great. All of them could steal the show. This show looks phenomenal. So there we go. Yeah, really looking forward to NXT. But let's get to the main course. Let's talk about WrestleMania. And I have my other computer's over here, and I have the match card here. It's on the Wikipedia page. I'm using that essentially. I know things could change within a few days, but this is essentially what I want to go for as the predictions right now, for the card that is set up right now. And as always, let's start with the pre-show. The pre-show this year is going to be it's going to consist of 3 matches, 2 of which are battle royals. It's going to be the, seems like tradition at this point, for the 4th time we're going to have an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle. Actually, is it the 4th? No, it's the 5th time. Actually, sorry, it's the 5th Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It's just the number from 30 to 34. But yeah, it's the 5th Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And we're also going to have a women's Battle Royal. Not dedicated to anyone. It was originally going to be, but yeah, just look up the Fabulous Moolah controversy if you want to know what happened there. But essentially, they originally wanted to dedicate it to someone, and they decided to scrap it because, well, you'll figure that out. Unless you already know. So it's just Women's Battle Royal. Just Women's Battle Royal. And finally, we're gonna have a match for the vacated Cruiserweight Championship between Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. So let's go through them in order, shall we? First, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I still don't get why they even have this match anymore. Like, this match, I get that they want to put people on WrestleMania, but one, this is on the pre-show, and two, this match is never any good, and it never amounts to anything. I've mentioned it before, but winning the Battle Royal means absolute jack. Again, 30, the first one. Who won? Cesaro. Where is he now? Well, he's the tag team champion. He is one half of the tag team champions, but he was floundering in the mid-card for a long, long, long time. And yeah, he basically gained nothing by winning this Battle Royal. But yeah. So, and he's probably going to be crushed by Braun later on. Spoiler for that prediction, but I'm going to get to that later. Then the second winner was the Big Show. Where is he? Some sources claim he's retired, but then again, he was an established superstar beforehand. But the only thing I know that he's going to be doing this weekend is that he's going to induct Mark Henry into the Hall of Fame. Well deserved for Mark Henry, may I add. So yeah, Big Show gained nothing from winning that Battle Royal. In fact, after he won it, he was put in a match with Reigns, where Reigns just beat him. So yeah, nothing. The third winner was Baron Corbin, and he's in the Battle Royal again. So that did jack all for him. And he's the second person in history to lose his Money in the Bank cash-in match. And if anyone's gonna say no, he's the third because John Cena was the first to. No, John Cena won his match. He failed to win the title, but no, sorry, I just have to deal with something like that. He won the match by DQ, so he didn't win the title. So he's the first to fail to win the title, but he's not the first to lose. That was Damien Sandow, and now Baron Corbin has joined that. So yeah, Corbin has been a complete waste. Nothing has gone well for him. And finally, last year, we had Mojo Rawley winning it. And where is he now? In the Battle Royal again. Fat good that did for him, winning it last year. So, yeah. And again, it's on the pre-show, so whoever wins it, who the fuck cares? Who do I think is going to win it? I don't fucking know. It's, hold on, they have a list of the participants who've been announced so far. I think it's 14 that have been announced so far. I guess I'm just going to pick one who's going to win this one. You know, considering that nobody's ever winning it, and considering that nobody gains a damn thing by winning it, considering how much they've misused this guy, my choice to win the Battle Royal is Ty Dillinger, because they're never gonna do anything with the guy. So hey, they're not doing anything with Mojo Rawley either. So why the fuck not? Just give the victory to Mr. Dillinger, because again, when I do my predictions, I usually, even if I'm wrong on the pre-show, I don't really count those to my final, because I like to keep a final score to see if I win or lose the pay-per-view on predictions. I don't really count the pre-show because I usually care so little about the pre-show. I watch the matches most of the time, but that's usually not that important to me, and I usually use the pre-show as something to just keep on in the background while I'm waiting for the pay-per-view to start, while I'm doing something else. So yeah, I don't care. It's not worth it for me. I don't give a shit about this match at all. I'm gonna be watching it, but it's not gonna be good because none of the Battle Royals are. And whoever wins is not gonna amount to anything, which is why I'm picking Ty Dillinger, because he's already amounting to nothing. Next, we have the Women's Battle Royal, which, again, same deal. It's basically the female version of the Andre Battle Royal. So again, it means just as little. In fact, it's actually been a bit detrimental, because one of the big stories going into the WrestleMania is the dissension between Bayley and Sasha Banks. And where do they have a singles match on the card? Nope, they're in the Battle Royal. So yeah, that means jack all. This whole Battle Royal means jack all. Nothing's gonna come of it. I mean, maybe they'll put some interest on the first winner, but I'm not holding my hopes on that one. As for who's gonna win, well, I don't really have a prediction on that one, so I'm just gonna pick one from the participants that have been announced so far. And out of the people on this list, this is actually really tough. I'm gonna say that, considering that they haven't done anything with her in a while, I'm gonna say Becky Lynch. I think I'm gonna go with, actually now that I think about it, maybe it makes more sense for a Raw Superstar, but then again, I'm just picking Ty Dillinger because who the fuck cares? Now, I'm gonna stick with what I said. I'm gonna go with Becky Lynch on this one, but again, it's the pre-show. I don't fucking care. So yeah, that match means nothing to me. The next match, however, does, and I'm still pissed off that it's on the pre-show, which is, hold on, I'm just gonna fix something. There we go. Which is Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship. So a little bit of backstory. The Cruiserweight Championship was originally held by Enzo Amore. And if you follow WWE programming, you may know that Enzo Amore is no longer with the company. He was fired because he was under investigation of a sexual assault. Had a sexual assault allegation thrown against him, and he neglected to tell WWE that he was under investigation, so they fired him. And because he was Cruiserweight Champion at the time, they had to strip him of the title. However, this also kind of worked out for 205 Live, because just around that time there was a change in management where Triple H now became the head of 205 Live, and he made some radical changes. He introduced a new general manager for 205 Live in Drake Maverick. And he made a tournament for the Cruiserweight Championship. And this tournament has put on some really good matches. And now we've come to the finale. It's Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. And it's been a lot of build-up, and it's been getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are saying that this has been a rejuvenation for the Cruiserweight division, and it's been absolutely brilliant. And how did WWE reward it? They put it on the pre-show. Even though it's one of the matches that have the most intrigue behind it, it's a match that could be really damn good, and yet they're not doing jack all about it. That is really annoying. There is still a chance that they could change their minds, considering that last year, originally, the SmackDown Women's title match was going to be on the pre-show, while the Intercontinental Championship between Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose was going to be on the main show, but they switched those around. So maybe they could switch some matches around. There is one match in particular that I feel on the main card they should put on the pre-show. And I'll talk about that when we get to it, but yeah. This match has a lot of intrigue. It's probably the only match I'm going to really care about on the pre-show, if it's still on there. But yeah, that's really disappointing. As for who I think is going to win, see, the thing was that when Enzo was champion, most people, including myself, thought that the one who was going to take the title from him was a guy who has been building his way up to win said title, Cedric Alexander. He's now on. And while Mustafa Ali has had a bit of a breakout during this tournament, I'm actually going to say that we're finally going to get the coronation of Cedric Alexander. I think Cedric is going to win the Cruiserweight Championship here and bring 205 Live into a new era, which could be really good. Actually, it has been really good, and now it's going to probably get better. So yeah, that's what I'm going with here. But that's the pre-show. Time to get into the main card. And I'm going to go in reverse order from what's listed here, because they always list the big matches first and then go down to the lower matches. Even though the one I mentioned. Anyway, let's just go in reverse order from bottom up to the fourth match on the list here, because they list the pre-show matches first. Anyway, the first match is the tag team match, where we're going to see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Shane McMahon and the returning Daniel Bryan. This is really intriguing. So, for those of you who don't know, Bryan's back. He was medically cleared a couple of weeks ago, and he's now ready to come back and wrestle. And his first match is going to be a tag match alongside Shane McMahon against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And judging by some of the workout videos I've seen and his initial brawl with the two of them, when he first announced that he was medically cleared, he looks like he hasn't missed a step. It looks like he's ready to go and can put on a good match. And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they can still put on good matches, so I'm seeing some good stuff there. The one thing that's perplexing me is Shane McMahon. Not that he's in the match, but actually kind of that he's in the match. Like, from a storytelling standpoint, it makes sense. You know, these two have been arguing over Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for a while, and finally Bryan's finally had enough of Sami and Kevin, so now he's finally joining Shane to fight against these two. But recently Shane McMahon went to the hospital to be treated for diverticulitis. That is a very serious condition, and yet, despite all, and there was many reports saying that he wasn't going to make WrestleMania. But apparently that's not the case anymore, because Shane he's cleared. He's ready to go apparently. He showed up on SmackDown the last SmackDown, so looks like he's ready to go. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna get the match, but I'm hoping that they don't have Shane do too much, considering his recent medical condition. I'm hoping Bryan does most of the work in this match. I get it, I know he's just coming back, this is his first match back, but yeah, I'm thinking Bryan should do most of the work against Owens and Zayn. You get Shane in there a couple of times. As for who I think is going to win, I think they're going to choose. I think since it's his first match back, Bryan is going to win, and and also this match has a stipulation that if Zayn and Owens have been fired from SmackDown by Daniel Bryan, if they win, they get reinstated on SmackDown. If they lose, still fired. And I think they're actually gonna stay fired and gonna go over to Raw after WrestleMania. That's my prediction. I think Bryan and Shane are going to win. As for what I'm looking forward to this match, again, like I said, Zayn and Owens are good wrestlers. Shane is hit or miss. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. And Bryan, I'm just really happy to see him back. And from what I see, he looks like he's in good shape. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the ring again. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this match. Next, another tag match. This time a mixed tag match. It's Triple H and Stephanie McMahon versus Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey. Ooh, this one is very interesting to me because on paper it sounds like a middling match, because you have two guys in this match who are good, but they're a little bit past their prime. You have a non-wrestler, kind of, in Stephanie, and you have a newbie in Ronda Rousey, or essentially a celebrity in this match. I know she's signed to WWE, so that means that she's actually going to compete on a regular basis after Mania, I'm hoping at least that's the case. So we can at least try and get her going a little bit. You know, build her up a little bit. So yeah, hold on. So I'm imagining that. So I guess you could call that a newbie, because Ronda hasn't had a match yet. She's had a few showings of physicality, like a okay Samoan drop, I think it was a suplex she drew, or was it just an arm top? I don't remember, but she did something to Dana Brooke, I think. And yeah, she has a good presence to her, and I was intrigued by this match. It's just that it's clearly showing that Ronda is a newbie. She is brand new to this stuff. She doesn't really know how to cut a promo effectively. She's getting better, and I'm really happy for that, because again, I don't want her to fail. I'm interested to see what she can do, but again, she's a brand new talent, so she's gonna have to learn the ropes a little bit. I'm really happy that they didn't put her in a title match, but I'm really hoping that this match can at least showcase her a little bit more. Like, have her beat the shit out of Stephanie a couple of times. You know, I think this has been building ever since WrestleMania 31, that they wanted to. This is the ultimate comeuppance for Stephanie, is that she's gonna get her ass whipped by Ronda Rousey. And then you have Kurt versus Triple H. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that Triple H is my second favorite wrestler of all time. And Kurt Angle, I haven't seen him wrestle too much. Like, he's had a couple of matches, but he hasn't really showcased anything on this. So I don't know if he can still put on a decent match with Triple H, or if Triple H can still put on a good match. Like, his match with Rollins and the showing on Survivor Series was okay, but not brilliant. So, from a pure match quality standpoint, this match could be either good or sloppy. I'm hoping for good. I'm hoping this match is good. I'm excited. I like it from a storyline perspective. It's really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I would have looked forward to it anyway, because one, it's Triple H and Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, both the guys really get me interested in what's going on, and I'm looking forward to see what Ronda can do in the ring as an actual wrestler. And yeah, putting her against Stephanie is probably a good idea, considering that, well, she's a I say non-wrestler, but she has wrestled a couple times. She's even a former women's champion, so she has something to her, but she's not really a wrestler. So yeah, we're gonna see something there. So I'm hoping this could be a good showcase of Ronda. Moving on, we have another tag team match, this time a triple threat tag team match, with the Usos, the New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown tag team titles. This match has built some intrigue, because the Bludgeon Brothers have been really interesting to watch. We already know that the Usos and the New Day can put on great matches, just from their wars in 2017. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do here. Oh, excuse me, I forgot to choose who I think is going to win the mixed tag match. Kurt and Ronda. There's no way they're not going to have Ronda win her first match. Kurt and Ronda are going to win that match. Yeah, I did say who was going to win the other time. Well, yeah, Kurt and Ronda are going to win that match. As for the tag team title match, I think now is finally the time to bring in a new tag team champion. So I think the new tag team champions are going to be the Bludgeon Brothers. Eric Rowan and Luke Harper are going to win the SmackDown tag team titles. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but Eric Rowan has never held that title, has he? Because I know that the Wyatts did win the SmackDown tag team titles back in 2016, I believe. Because, but that was Randy and Bray, and then Luke held it via the Freebird rule, and I believe he was involved in the match where they lost it to American Alpha. So yeah, to me it looks like sorry, I'm having a starting cold of some kind. But anyway, what I was going to say was, I don't believe Eric Rowan has ever held, well, a title in general, but not the tag team titles. So yeah, I think we're going to get a brand new tag team champion in Eric Rowan, and I think Luke Harper is finally going to actually win a tag team title, because again, he just held it because of the Freebird rule. So yeah, there you go. We're going to have the Bludgeon Brothers win that one, and this match could be really good if they give it time. But considering how many matches they have, I'm not sure they're going to give it time. I know it's probably another 7-hour show, but yeah, we'll see. Next up, another tag match. Again, they put all the tag matches in one. We got Cesaro and Sheamus defending their Raw tag team titles against Braun Strowman and the Mystery Partner. I feel like this is a mistake. I feel like they shouldn't have done this in my eyes. It's been somewhat intriguing to watch on Raw, but at the same time, I just feel like Braun Strowman should not be in the tag team division. In my eyes, he should be in the Universal Championship match. He should be the one facing Brock Lesnar. He should be the one defeating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Because of everything that he's done in 2017 and to here. He's been one of the biggest stars, one of the best built stars. This honestly feels like CM Punk in 2013. He'd had a great year previously, and then as soon as he gets to the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, he gets screwed out of the main event that he should have been in. That's how I feel about Braun Strowman at this point. He should not be in this match. He should be in the main event instead of Reigns. In fact, in my eyes, you could have actually switched these two and have Reigns fight these two with a mystery partner, which could either be a returning Dean Ambrose, or you can have a special team by teaming him up with another Samoan in Samoa Joe, and a returning Samoa Joe, that is. But I'm not going to talk hyperbole. That's not the match that's happening. What we're getting is Braun Strowman versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Well, with a mystery partner. And as for... there are two predictions for this one. First of all, it's obviously who's going to win. And that one's pretty obvious. No matter who he picks as a partner, Braun is going to win. I don't see any other way this story can end other than Braun winning the titles. So yeah, Braun is going to win. As for who his partner is going to be, I know a lot of people have said Elias. Some people have said Neville, which would be really nice. I would love it if it was Neville. I don't really care. I like Elias, but I don't see him joining up with Braun. I think his little story is done. I personally think that the guy who's going to join up with Braun Strowman is a returning Samoa Joe. Just have that dominating tag team there. They're going to absolutely destroy Sheamus and Cesaro and win the tag team titles. So the match might not be that good, but I think just Joe's return and the demolition these two can cause is enough to build them up as a proper threat. And then you can build up a new tag team to finally clash with these two and win the title. Also off of one. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Braun is going to win the tag team titles, and his partner is going to be Joe. Again, since I'm leaving the computer on, it goes to black all the time, so I have to occasionally go back there and check on it. But anyway, that's that match. Next, we have... I'm actually going to jump a little bit out of order here and talk about the mid-card title matches first. So, first up, we have the match that I actually think should have been on the pre-show instead of the Cruiserweight title, and that is the United States Championship match, with champion Randy Orton defending in a fatal 4-way match against Jinder Mahal, Bobby Roode, and Rusev. This match has been a bit of a clusterfuck. It sort of built up a match between Jinder and Randy and Bobby Roode at the start, because that was building into Fastlane, but they decided to just make it Roode versus Orton. And for the first time in his career, Randy won the United States Championship, which I did enjoy seeing. The match itself was okay. It was a slow start, but it got okay after we went along. And then they brought Jinder Mahal into it, and then just out of nowhere they brought Rusev into it. So it's been a bit of a weird clusterfuck, and outside of Rusev joining in, I haven't really cared that much about it. And that's why I feel like it's such a rushed and weird match. I feel like you should have put it on the pre-show. I get it's Randy Orton, he's the biggest star in this match, and he's a very big star in general. But I feel like in this case, you should have put that on the pre-show. As for who's going to win, in my eyes, I was really torn. Like, when it was originally just a triple threat match, I actually thought that the one who was going to win was going to be Randy. I thought he was going to retain. But with the addition of Rusev, I actually think they're going to actually pull the trigger on it, and actually give the United States Championship to Rusev. Rusev is going to win the United States Championship. That's my prediction. So, as for the match itself, it's probably going to be okay, but not great. Because, Randy, good wrestler, but doesn't have too good chemistry with any of the men in this match. Bobby, again, good wrestler, but again, doesn't have that good chemistry with any of the people in this match. Jinder is awful. Well, okay, he's not awful, but he's not good. So, I still have terrible memories of the nightmare that was his WWE Championship reign. So, yeah. Jinder is not going to help. And Rusev is good, but again, he hasn't had too great chemistry with any of the men in this match. So yeah, I don't think this match is going to be that. It's probably going to be okay, but yeah, not that interested in this match. But again, going for Rusev. Next up, we have the Intercontinental Championship match, a triple threat, which The Miz defends his Intercontinental Championship against Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. This match has been somewhat intriguing, as we've seen Miz just kind of off on the sidelines, although I kind of get that considering that I believe his daughter was recently was born. Congratulations on that, by the way. And yeah, he's been a bit busy with that, but yeah, this match has been somewhat intriguing because it's showcased a lot of good stuff from both Seth and Finn, so it's looking to be Finn. In fact, they had a great match on the Go Home Raw, so yeah, I think there's a lot of potential that can be made from these two going at it at WrestleMania, with the Miz in there because they're for the title. Which is why. See, here's the thing. I'm going for the Miz in this match. I think Miz is going to retain because I have a suspicion that after WrestleMania we're going to have this draft or Superstar Shake or whatever you want to call it. And I think either Miz is going to go to SmackDown or Bryan is going to Raw. And we're finally going to have the match between Miz and Bryan. And Bryan is going to be the one to take the title from him. Also, there's this whole thing about the Miz being close to being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history from a cumulative whatever. He from his combined reigns, all of his combined 6 reigns, I believe. Or is it 7? I don't know. But he's been champion a bunch of times, and the combined days that he's been will actually be making him the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time as combined days. He's not the longest reigning ever, as in his single reign. That honor still belongs to the Honky Tonk Man, who I also believe is the longest reigning in community. Like, his one reign is the longest, and it took Miz multiple reigns to get up to that point. So yeah, I don't believe he's going to lose it. I think he's going to keep it and then lose it to Bryan later. But the only way I see someone else winning it is if Finn is in Demon Paint. That's it. If Finn is in Demon Paint, he's winning it. But we don't know if he's going to be in Demon Paint or not. It looks like he isn't going to be, considering that they've advertised, just regular Finn Balor and not the Demon. But it is WrestleMania, so it could be a big deal for him to actually be in Demon Paint. But my thoughts are saying that he's not going to be in Demon Paint, so I think The Miz is going to retain. I think that's the only time. That's one of 2 times I think that a championship is going to be retained on this show. Because I believe all the other championships are going to change hands. Which brings us to the next matches, which are the women's title matches. First up, Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. This match has been built pretty much on the fact that Alexa has been really like, Asuka won the Royal Rumble, and since she was on Raw, it was believed that she was going to challenge Alexa for her Raw Women's title, and thus she tried to knock her down a few pegs by sending Nia out to beat her. But when she failed on multiple occasions, Alexa made a mockery of her and insulted her on multiple occasions, and she eventually snapped and attacked her. And eventually that set up a match between the two of them at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship, because Asuka decided not to face Alexa for the Raw Women's title, but instead she went to SmackDown to challenge Charlotte. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, this match, I mean, neither women are bad per se, but I'm just not seeing this match being all that interesting. I think it's gonna be, it could be an okay match. I don't think it's gonna be great, because neither of them are great wrestlers, but they're good enough. They're good characters, but not that interesting in terms of actual wrestling. As for who's going to win, again, I'm pretty much just... There's one title match. There's two title matches on this card. I don't think the title's changing hands. One's The Miz, and the other is coming up later, but this is not one of them. I think Nia's going to win. Nia is going to win the Raw Women's title. That's my prediction. Because I think Alexa's reign has gone on long enough. There's really nothing more you can do for her as champion at the moment. So I think now is a good time to change it up and give the title to a new star, which is Nia Jax. I see that my timer's is getting close to an hour, which means I'm gonna have to restart the recording. But I'm gonna talk about the other women's match before I swap recordings and start talking about the last three matches. So finally, we have the other women's title match, which I alluded to earlier. Asuka, the Royal Rumble winner, facing off against the women's Royal Rumble winner, facing off against Charlotte. This match is really intriguing me because Charlotte for the longest time was my favorite female wrestler in the company. Probably one of my favorites of all time. She was damn good. And she was the best until Asuka debuted. She has been amazing. She is by far the best female wrestler in the company. And a match between the two women I consider the absolute best. Ooh, that's good. Again, Asuka from an in-ring perspective, from character perspective, she's been great. Her mic skills are not that good because, her English is not that good, but everywhere else she's been great. And this match has the potential to be absolutely amazing. And I'm really looking forward to it. As for who's going to win, it's a foregone conclusion in my eyes. The streak will not die. Asuka will stay undefeated until she loses. She's not going to lose the undefeated streak before she wins the title. She's going to win the SmackDown Women's title, and then she's going to lose to someone either at SummerSlam, or maybe she could hold it until next WrestleMania. Because I kind of want the streak to continue just to piss off everyone who hates on the streak because they just hate seeing a streak. Yeah, I kind of just want Asuka to just hold on to that streak as long as damn possible. But yeah, Asuka's winning the title in my eyes. And with that, I think I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to talk about the last three matches in the next recording. And yes, I did say three. And the reason I'm saying 3, we're back now, and the reason I'm saying 3 is because while this match is not officially on the card, it's not been official, I'm sorry, there is no way in fucking hell they're not doing this match. They would not build up this match if they were not going to do it. And that is John Cena versus The Undertaker. John Cena is going to face The Undertaker. I am beyond confused as to why they didn't just announce it, just make it official on last week's Raw. Why Undertaker hasn't shown up at all. But he's going to show up. Because, again, they wouldn't, if Taker wasn't going to be at WrestleMania, they wouldn't have mentioned it. If they didn't mention it, I would have believed that Taker wasn't going to be there. But he is. As I said in my Royal Rumble video, when I first watched WrestleMania 33, I thought, like everyone else, that was Taker's last match. But recent development, as I went along, I just realized, no. They never announced, they haven't announced officially that Taker's retired. So he hasn't. He hasn't retired. He's gonna come back. I was convinced he was going to have a match. And then John Cena called out The Undertaker, and it was just set in stone. John Cena is facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania. But again, I'm really disappointed that they haven't built him up a little bit more. You know, by just having him show up and accept the challenge. That's all he had to do. Hell, he didn't even need to show up. He could have just had a video screen or something, like when he fought against Bray Wyatt. He didn't show up at all until WrestleMania, but he just gave up and gave a warning saying that he accepts. That's it. And again, I really feel like they dropped the ball on this one and not put... Sure, it has built some intrigue, and I think they know that most people are going to tune into WrestleMania because, like me, they know that this whole thing that this match isn't happening is bullshit. He's going to show up. There's going to be an impromptu match between these two. Cena is facing The Undertaker. Now, a lot of intrigue has been built around the fact that a lot of people are thinking about which Undertaker is going to show up. Because a lot of people have been saying that we're not going to get the dead man, we're going to get the biker. I know they've been saying that for a long time, but honestly, I don't want to see that. Because, for one, I feel like it's a gimmick that I don't really want back, honestly. Like, I don't hate the biker, but to me, The Undertaker is the dead man. He's always been the dead man. And that's just, if this is going to be his final match, I'm not entirely sure it's going to be, but if it's going to be his last match, I want him to go out as the Phenom. I want him to go out as the dead man. I want him to come back as the Undertaker, not just Undertaker the biker. I want the Undertaker at WrestleMania fighting against John Cena. And there's another reason I want that too. It's because this match, I know people have been saying this is a dream match. It's not really, because my definition of a dream match is a match that's never happened before. It's a match between two wrestlers that people are excited for, that has never happened before. And John Cena and Undertaker have wrestled before. 4 times, in fact. I believe the first time they faced off was in a SmackDown tournament. Was in a tournament to determine the #1 contender for the WWE Championship at Backlash 2003. the #1 contender against Brock Lesnar at Backlash, who was the WWE champion at the time. And in the, I think it was the semifinals, John Cena faced off against The Undertaker, and he was the biker at the time. And the match, John was getting pummeled by The Undertaker until a team known as FBI, or I believe which stands for Full Blooded Italian, attacked The Undertaker and cost him the match. Cena won because he picked the scraps after they were done with him. Then later on, we saw The Undertaker, then at Vengeance 2003, the only pay-per-view match they've ever had, we've seen Taker face off with John Cena again. Again, Taker was still the biker at this point. In this match, however, Undertaker got a decisive victory. He beat John Cena there. The next time they faced off was in 2004. At this point, Taker had gone back to being the dead man. But this was 2004, John Cena, so he was still in his rapper gimmick. It was still a few, and it was that point that he had either been U.S. champion, United States champion, or he was U.S. champion. I don't remember. But they had a match on SmackDown, and Undertaker won. Just clean as a whistle, he won. But that was back in rapper Cena, not world champion Cena. That came later. In 2007, they had a match on Raw. It was a special match between Taker, who was on SmackDown at the time, going up against John Cena, who was WWE champion at the time. These two put together a pretty decent match. However, the match was interrupted by Big Show and Booker T, who attacked The Undertaker and caused him to win by disqualification. So we never got a proper ending to that match. So the one time we got to see... So essentially what I want to point out with this is that the one time we got to see Undertaker as the dead man fight against world champion John Cena, the match ended in a DQ on Raw. Sorry. Anyway. So I would like to see a proper dead man versus world champion John Cena. Now when I say world champion John Cena, I mean the John Cena that is the big face of the company, multi-time world champion, all that. I want to see that John Cena versus the phenom dead man Undertaker. So that's the match I want to see at WrestleMania. So when that time comes, I'm hoping the Undertaker is back in the dead man persona, and he's going to win. That's my prediction. He's going to win. Because I really feel like at this point, I'm going to agree with Chris Jericho, what he said, which is one of the few things I agree with him about what he said, is that at this point, The Undertaker really shouldn't lose anymore if he's going to have more matches. He should just win. There is one match I'm willing to allow him to lose. I think he should lose, and that should be the absolute final one after he's won some matches. If this is his last match, I do think he should go out on a win. But if he has more matches after this, there is one match I feel like he should have where he should lose. And that's a match against AJ Styles. Maybe not at WrestleMania, but that's a match I have been intrigued to see for a long time. That's a dream match for me, is Taker versus Styles. But I'm not holding my hopes up that that's going to happen. But for this one, I'm going with The Undertaker on this one. Taker is coming back, and he's beating John Cena. Then, they may have a rematch at SummerSlam or Survivor Series or something. Maybe. But if this is his last match, I'm talking a bit in circles about future matches. Let's just say that this is Taker's last match. He wants to have one final match against John Cena before he calls it quits. And I think he has earned the right to skip tradition and go out on a win. And I think Taker is going to beat John Cena. Finally put in story, Cena's just been a whining little bitch, and I feel like at this point Taker should come back and put him in his place. So there you go. That's what I think. I know a lot of people have been saying that this could be a catalyst for Cena turning heel, but let's be honest, guys. Considering how Cena's been working recently, chances are he's not going to be working that much anymore. So there's a good chance that this could potentially be one of his last matches for a while. Hell, maybe ever. So yeah, I'm going to say right now, I think that Undertaker's going to win, and if this is his last match, he's going to ride off into the sunset and call it a day with a win. That's what I think. So yeah, here we go. So that's the unannounced match, and I don't believe there's going to be any other. So now we're moving on to the final two, and we're going to start things off with Roman versus Brock. Because I want to save what should be the main event for last. But I know a lot of people are saying Roman is going to main event for a fourth time in a row, meaning that he's one match away, one main event away from tying Hulk Hogan's record of 5 main events in a row. That is insanity in my eyes. Like, why are they still building? You all know how I feel about Reigns. If you don't, I hate the bastard. I hate how he's being shoved down your throats. I hate his. I don't think he has any character. That's like, his character is just nothing. His wrestling is subpar. His mic work is okay, but I'm so sick of Reigns in the main event. I don't even care if he turned heel tomorrow. I'm sick of seeing him in the main event. So I would just like for him to just stop being in the main event. I'm done with him in the main event. But unfortunately, he's going to be in the main event for a while now. And he potentially could be in this one too, because he's facing off against Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. And again, like I've said, I wanted Braun to be in this match because I felt like that was the story they could have told with him, but nope. It's always coming back to Reigns. I'm going to be honest with you. Ever since this match was made official at the Elimination Chamber, I have not been paying attention to any of the build-up. Not at all. I watch Raw, but whenever Reigns comes on the screen, click. Oh, actually, I do have a remote. Click. Switch channel. Or, actually, I don't actually get. I actually don't get WWE in my country, so I watch WWE on the YouTube clips. I always skip the Reigns ones. I don't pay attention to anything that has to do with Reigns or Lesnar or anything like that. I'm not giving a shit about it because I have no interest in this match. It's not interesting whatsoever to me. It's Reigns and Lesnar again. And when I saw these two wrestle at WrestleMania 31, it wasn't really a match as much as it was Brock tossing Reigns around like a rag doll, hitting him with multiple F5s, and then Roman getting a slight upper hand by pushing him into the after he made him bleed, but that's about it. And yeah, the only thing that really made that match awesome was the cash in at the end. Everything else was just standard Brock squash match. I'm not looking forward. Here's the thing. I'm actually going to say this right now. First of all, let's just get the prediction out of the way. As much as I want to just say, to be contrarian, that, Brock is actually going to win because he's not done in WWE. No, he's done. We're going to get what we tried to avoid at 31 and 32 and 33 and all that. We're finally going to cut that off. Finally, WWE is not going to let us escape it. It's gonna happen. As much as we don't want it, it's gonna happen. Reigns is finally going to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania again, and this time he's going to beat the Beast. I don't want it. I don't care for it. And in fact, I'm not even going to watch the match if it's going to be the main event. But if it's not, like it should be, like it should not be the main event. If it's not, I'm going to be watching it. But I'm not going to give a shit about it because there's nothing really intriguing about this match at all. There's nothing really in this match that could probably surprise me. In fact, the only thing that could... There's only two things in this match that could even surprise me at all. And they're pretty much intertwined. And that is, Lesnar hits one F5 and Reigns doesn't kick out. That's the first one. The other, which is the result of this, Lesnar wins. That's the only thing that's going to surprise me. The only fucking way they're going to surprise me is if Reigns doesn't kick out of the first F5, or or Lesnar wins, which is what both is happening at the same time. But I will be more shocked if he doesn't kick out of the first F5. But I'll be shocked if Lesnar wins, and I'll be incredibly shocked if he doesn't kick out of an F5. Because that's what they've been building. They've been building the F5 as this, that's it. That's the end move for no good reason, really, in my eyes. But they've been building that ever since last year's WrestleMania. And, yeah. That's... We're going to see Reigns kick out on F5 to nobody's surprise. Just going to point that out there. Nobody's going to be surprised that he kicks out of it. Because nobody's buying the F5 as an all-devastating move, because we all know what's going to happen. And yeah, if Brock wins, it'll be shocking, but for once, like, I've been betting against Brock all year essentially, to want him to lose that damn belt. Even though my subconscious said, you're gonna be wrong. He's gonna win. And for once, I'm actually going to... And for once, I'm actually going to step away from it. For once, I'm not going to go with what I want to happen, which is that Lesnar wins and Braun can finally take it off of him, or Joe, or someone else. I'm going to bite the bullet and do what I believe is going to happen, which is Reigns is going to win. Of course he's going to win. Normally, I do predictions based on what I think is going to happen, but sometimes I go specifically with what my gut and my heart feels is the right thing to do. I'm not going to do that for this match. This time, I'm going to take the point, going to take the right point, and say Reigns is going to win. But enough about this match. I've talked enough about it for a match that I don't give a shit about. I'm done. Done. If this match goes on last, I'm not even going to watch it. I'm going to turn off the TV and be done with WrestleMania right there. But the match that because it shouldn't go on last. The match that should go on last is for the Royal Rumble winner Shinsuke Nakamura and his match against the phenomenal AJ Styles. Here we go. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. this match. It's been built up as this so-called dream match. By the way, it's not, considering that it happened on an independent promotion. But I guess it's kind of a WWE dream match, considering that it's not happened in WWE. But that's the closest you can get to it. This match has potential to be great. I haven't seen their Wrestle Kingdom match, but I know that both guys are really good in the ring. And AJ is a great character worker and good promo artist and everything. AJ is just a total package wrestler, as I call it. That he's a good character, good on the mic, and good in the ring. Shinsuke is okay on the... like, his mic skills are a bit hampered because of his English, but he has been impressing me with a few things. And some of his jabs have been good, and of course, I fucking love the thing that he did where he imitated Aiden English, because that was damn good. And his character, it's somewhat intriguing, but it's not that interesting as to what he's doing. And the build-up to this match hasn't been that good. In fact, it's the only build-up that was really good was the last 2 weeks, where they both threatened to hit their finish and then stopped right in the middle to pat them on the head. That was good. Like, that just shows how in control they are, and how much they play, and how strong the mind games are between them. That's great. And so yeah, I am definitely thinking this match could be great. It could be the best match of the weekend, or at least the best match on the card. There's a lot of matches that could be the best match on the card. A lot of matches that could be the best match of the weekend. But yeah, this match has a lot of potential. And now for my prediction. Up until a few weeks ago, I was dead certain that this was Nakamura's crowning moment. This was going to be his victory. But I've had a lot of time to think about it. And a lot of time to look at the build-up and all that. And really, I'm just thinking, I actually don't think it's time. I actually don't think it's time to give Nakamura the WWE Championship. I think they're going to stick with AJ. He's going to stay champion. I'm going to say AJ Styles is going to retain. I know a lot of people are going to say that that's not going to happen. That I'm going to be wrong about that. But I honestly think AJ is going to retain. People might say I'm dead wrong about that. But I honestly think that they're not going to pull the trigger. They're not going to give Shinsuke the victory. Do I think that's the right call? I'm not sure, actually. Like, they could build this up a little bit, but I feel like there should be some build-up, because Shinsuke, he hasn't really done enough to really present himself as world title material. He's only had one WWE Championship match at this point. And I rooted for him then, but that was only because it was during the Nightmare title run that was Jinder Mahal. And I just wanted anyone to take that belt off of him because he was boring as fuck as champion. He was actively ruining SmackDown for me. But thing is, I thought Nakamura was a bit too early. And at this point, I'm not sure that Nakamura's the right call here either. When I was looking forward to WrestleMania 34, I was thinking that if AJ was going to face anyone at WrestleMania, I didn't think they were going to do the Nakamura match now. I felt like they could save that for next year's WrestleMania. They could have done, AJ versus someone else. My choice would have been, maybe if you want to get Neville back, you put him in the match. See, I don't think Nakamura is ready to be world champion just yet. I think he needs a little bit more time to build up. I could be wrong, but I think at WrestleMania, AJ's going to win. AJ, after a hard-fought match, he's going to win. He's going to cement himself as a top-level world champion, setting up for the next challenger, which I'm not entirely sure who that's going to be, but hey, one match I would love to see would be AJ versus Orton. So maybe when Orton loses the US title, he could go after the WWE Championship and set things up there. But yeah, I'm just spitballing ideas. You know, maybe set up for Shinsuke to take the title at SummerSlam instead of WrestleMania. But yeah, there you go. That's my predictions for WrestleMania 34 and NXT at the beginning. There's a lot of good matches on this card. There could be a lot of good stuff here. And yeah, I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. Forward to getting to WrestleMania this Sunday. But I'm standing by what I said. And I'll get back to that. And you're probably gonna see a reaction. You're not gonna see a reaction from me after NXT Takeover. I usually don't do that. But you're gonna, and because of this stupid computer, I don't want to overwork it. So you're gonna see. I'm gonna do a reaction video to NXT. Not to NXT, to WrestleMania 34. I'm sorry for rambling a bit, but I'm gonna do a reaction, my thoughts on WrestleMania 34 when that's done, and then you're probably not gonna see me until E3 or when I get the next Star Wars: The Old Republic ending up, which could take a while because the next one will be the Bounty Hunter, and I'm still stuck on Voss at this point. But yeah, there you go. But there you go. And back to what I said. I'm standing by what I said. If Reigns and Lesnar main events the show, I'm not bothering to watch it. I'm not bothering to watch the rest of it. Please, WWE, have Shinsuke and AJ main event the show like they should.